Hello and welcome to Edukemy's YouTube channel and editorial discussion for today, 11th April 2022. My name is Harsh Singh, and in this video, we shall discuss an important editorial from The Hindu, getting serious about supporting the care economy. Let's discuss this editorial. Before we get into the discussion, I'd like you to look at these images. A woman taking care of small children, a woman helping the elderly person, taking care of them, participation in homely activities like cooking food or picking up water or picking fuel so that they can come back home and prepare food, also taking care of elderly, multitasking and juggling between various tasks. This could be a part of formal employment or an informal employment, either of them. Hence, care economy and care work revolves around helping a person in physical, psychological, emotional, developmental needs for one or more persons, helping and supporting them. They could be small children, they could be elderly people, they could be differently abled persons, and some of the part of this care economy is visible and some of them is not. For example, there are direct ways in which it is visible when a person is taking care of children as nanny. It is visible directly when somebody goes and takes care of elder people, but then the same person cooking food at home or doing homely activities like cleaning is not visible. And there are certain very critical factors about this care economy. Let's discuss this. 75% of women, 75% of people who do the paid care worker are women, and almost 80% women are the ones which are into unpaid care work. That means it is the women population which is participating in care work, largely either paid or unpaid. Men do not participate as much in the care economy. We can look at it from our own home perspective. When we see many of us homes, it's our mother who cooks the food, it's a female who cleans the home. Is it not true for many of us? Yes, there can be many cases in which it is the opposite, but it is largely true in traditional families. Right? Care economy contributes to 11% of global economy. However, in India, the contribution of care economy to the GDP is hardly 1%. Imagine this. Right, that means a lot of it is informal. Very critical points. And Asia is the second largest population of paid care workers globally. In fact, India has been exporting the nursing assistants, doctors, care economy people to the developed countries, to Middle East. India also has been exporting the care economy people from rural India to urban India. Is it not true that there is a feminization of migration of women? Yes, absolutely. So very critical points, and this is presented by ILO itself. Now, care economy is defined as the work of looking after physical, psychological, emotional, developmental needs of one or more persons. It can be represented through direct activities which are seen around: feeding a baby, nursing a person who is ill, or indirect activities which are not visible: cooking, cleaning. And it can be there for childcare, elderly, and differently abled persons, all of them. So do not restrict while we talk of defining care work. I've defined it right here. Now, moving ahead to understanding more about this, there's certain very critical inputs on care economy. For example, we have right now seen the contribution of women in care economy is as much as 80. And this work is largely overlooked. People don't know who's working, and the value is hardly rewarded. Hardly rewarded. There is unfair value judgment also. Possibly many times people don't get paid also for the kind of work that they do. Domestic workers, Anganwadi workers, they keep fighting battles to negotiate the prices that they receive. And are they aware of their rights? For example, even access to toilets, access to a canteen. Are they aware of these rights? Prevention of domestic violence against informal care workers, sexual violence at workplace. When many of the people are working in informal avenues, leave apart following of these norms, awareness itself is limited, and India spends a very meager amount of in its care economy, 1% of GDP. So these are very highlighting points, and these are present as a part of the ILO's report as well. All right. Now, certain good things about the country, India, is that India has given a very standard 26 weeks of maternity leave. If one person, if a lady is pregnant, she can avail 26 weeks of paid leave and other benefits from her institution. But then the issue here is that very few institutions are in the formal capacity. Around 90% of women are working in informal sector, so they cannot avail this 26 weeks of leave, right? So this is International Labour Organization speaking about India, right? And International Labour Organization mandate for global countries around is 14 weeks, but India has given 26 weeks. So this is commendable here. This is a good point. However, when you see that for paternity leave, father's leave during the time of childbirth, it is, although there's recognition of this, but then it is not given. So the global average paternity leave is only 9 days. And if the father is not able to help during child, at least 6 months of the child growing, who has got the extra work? It is the woman who has to do the extra work. So again, there is inequality. It exacerbates, that means accentuates the further inequity amongst the women and male working population. So very critical inputs here as a part of the editorial itself, right? Now, if we give put in greater investment in care economy, there will be additional 300 million jobs, 30 crore jobs globally, and largely who? Women driven, right? This will happen in India also. During COVID times, the care work has only increased and women participation has increased, which is a very good thing. But then we need more investments, right? This will help in achieving SDG 8, which is promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth and full productive employment and decent work for everybody, right? Not only that, International Labour Organization, right, on the eve of Women's Day, 8th of March, it also released a report called as Care at Work, and this is why the editorial has presented components of that report. Now I'm showing here the declining women force and labor force participation. How is it possible in a country like India, where there is so much of opportunity available, that women force is only declining with time in the labor force? Why is it happening? See, these are the issues that need to be addressed. We need to encourage women participation in the labor force in the country. And if you see, this is the labor participation in India for women, and this is specifically for men, the working age population, and how many people are working. This is the percentage of women working out of the percentage out of the total number of women available in that working group and looking for job. And this proportion is lesser as compared to countries like Turkey, Mexico, South Africa, almost equitable, and Indonesia, Brazil, Cambodia. Look at just the women factor and you would understand that we stand behind. In fact, this is decreasing, and this is a very alarming trend. What we need to do is have more women participation, encourage, make them aware. These are the important inputs, and that is why I've shared this extra input from the other sources. All right. Now, benefits of better care work will deliver better child development. Aging with dignity, people will age and it will be with dignity. They will be able to look for support and formally, right? Everybody will be able to live a life independently because this will be a part of formal sector, right? Better employment for all people, right? Care economy can contribute to a lot, especially for elders, right? When the global population is aging, this is called a silver economy, very important, right? So also workplaces, the workplaces which provide time and income security to people for undertaking care services, it ensures that there are positive nutrition and health outcomes for the stakeholders, who? Mother and the child. So this is a very positive step that must be taken at workplaces also, right? So it will benefit child, elderly, living as independent persons, employment, and workplaces ought to become better for the same. In fact, the International Labour Organization has said that if we follow 5R principle, please memorize this. If we follow recognition of people working in care areas, reduction in informal employment, redistribution of unpaid care work, and promote the rewarding of these people, fourth, rewarding, and then have their representation, collective representation, we will be able to generate this 30 crore of employment globally. So this is not a small number, this is a great number, and this is towards prosperity for the future. If the woman is empowered, we will have the whole generation empowered. Care work should be viewed as a collective responsibility and public good. You can end your answer if you have to write about care work, women empowerment, through this this phrase, collective responsibility and public good. So please remember this. Now, towards the end, I will give you a small exercise. You just have to exercise your brain a little and just mention 4 reasons for preference of women in care economy. Why women are more preferred than men in care economy? Are they more empathetic? Do they have better understanding skills? Whatever it is, mention just 4 points and 5 ways to support care economy for all the stakeholders. Now, if you like this initiative, share some love through likes, comments, and shares. Spread this word to the world that we are helping in providing this